It was meant for me because if you look at the history, you know the history of these two leopards, Safari and Gorilla. Look like Safari female, she moved into the west and give a space for the daughter.
Almost
into
like
the
free
area.
up space because
Yeah,
she's got
free, yes. So it looked like now also Gorilla is going to do the same. He is moving up to the north and free the space for one of the youngsters into the area. So if that can happen, I mean, it can settle down to the to the north, and one of the youngsters, which we don't know whether it could be.
Well, Tingana has been seen a lot. We
Yeah.
see her, but she's been seen between the Milwaukee and Chirakat line.
Yeah, somewhere there, I mean, plenty time. So it looked like Tingana might stay on that area. And today we're driving up and down there. We were trying to check tracks or locate it itself. So it looked like she's in and around on that area. She might operate 3-house dam, twin dams, all the way down to the area and back into our neighborhood area. So it looked like that young female, she's more in and out on that area.
But I get what you're saying. It's almost like Safari made up. If you imagine it on a visual space, Safari had this area and then she moved away a little bit and then created that space that was sort of safe already because it was occupied for Karula. And now here's a lion again.
It's amazing.
Look in there tomorrow. Go for a little peek around.
Yeah, that will be good.
But it's always so hard to talk when there's lions roaring. You have to listen. Difficult for you guys to hear, but lions roaring that side is beautiful. It's a very interesting part of a lion's roar. They've got different tonal parts in the whole roar if you break the whole thing down in a study. Sorry, trailing off again. But that last part, that is typically, depending if they're trying to communicate it further away, they tend to make that a little bit longer and louder. It's a very low frequency, so it travels better through different terrain. And it's not as much of the center part of the roar is actually the real tonal part where there's a lot of specific sounds in it you can recognize individuals from. But that last part is that part that they try and make the sound carry further out. So you've got different parts of the roar even. But so just to try and explain what Rex was saying is that Safari moved out to create a space for Karula. Karula's sort of doing the same thing now by moving up north a little bit and creating. But Saseka hasn't been. I haven't heard much of her on the radio. Or where is she? What have you heard?
Well, last time to hear about Saseka, she was down at three house pen into Little Garden. I've been heard since from then. And once before, myself and Simon, we were called in somewhere, Gary Main, the same area of eastern side of Lakewood Road. She was moving in and out on that area. She ended disappeared because it's very thick on that area. I believe they're still moving together in the same block, but they might be starting to getting separated. And each and every individual trying to go in the favorite spot of the area that been created by the mother. So you might find that the other one might operate other side of the road, and the other one will come more towards our area where we are, which is really amazing for this leopard, how actually they do things into the area. It's really, if you look at Safari, now she's no longer coming down towards 3 hours there. She's just turning the triple Impala plains, Zoe's Road, and back up to Safari, which is really amazing. She used to come all the way down, remember, here to quarantine once before, but she's no longer coming all the way down to here. She's tried to move around in that area there, right at the corner of our property.
But I must admit, that's one of the leopards I'm personally also very excited about. Safari has always been very special. I just watch my sound here. I hope that's all right. She's always been a very special leopard to me. She used to live, the first time I ever saw her was on Envoy Tiller Access up in the Murula tree. That's the first time I ever saw Safari. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, she's
a special cat.
Yeah.
And we had it the other day, sorry to interrupt, but the other day we saw, who was with me on camera, Simon or Herman? When we saw all three of them, 3 generations. We had Safari first, Tingana first, then Safari, then we left Safari and we drove back, and where Tingana was earlier, we just looked and spotted another leopard, and it was Karula crossing. And we saw Safari again later, but it's just nice to see.
Yeah, all the 3 generations.
Like that,
It's really amazing. I mean, it's beautiful for all these leopards. Mainly, we now, I mean, looking forward, expectation of pregnancy of that leopard. It looked like, yeah, if she have cubs, she will be more in and around Yana Dam, Befesuk Dam. She tend to be on that area most. But we had today or late this afternoon that yesterday she just crossed back to south, which is headed towards Little Gari. But she's still moving in the area, but most of time she tend to be more into the north. So it can be happen right at the other side. And we had we had on the radio another leopard with having cubs. It could be big and female. She was moving towards south, but on top there by Sasal Dam, moving towards Befesuk area. So we're hoping maybe somewhere Cheetah Catlan, eastern side of Befesuk Dam.
Yeah, she might also be frequent Befesuk Dam.
Somewhere there. So it will be something that we will be looking forward while we drive, getting on those areas. Maybe we might be lucky to get to see this youngster.
It'll be nice if Befesuk Dam also get a bit more leopard activity around. I mean, years, not that many years, but early 2000s when I was guiding here, remember Shivati used to go past all the time. Oh, not all the time, but often you'd go past and you'd be lying on that termite mound like a statue.
Yeah,
and there's a lot more leopard activity around that. It's like maybe with the Kahumas before they left here, maybe they made the leopard activity around that side a bit less. Or
that it is. I mean, once the leopard and the lion operate in the same area, it will be a little bit shifting of one species, of course, which is leopard.
Just because of
he has to move in other areas. So, but we believe this year we might have lots of leopard around in the area. Imagine if Gurula have a youngster and one of the youngster from Gurula next year or before next
youngster as well.
You have a youngster as well. They will be moving up and down in the area. I've seen once before leopard. Sometimes we really know that leopards are more territory and they don't accommodate one another. But if they really know one another, they can be in the same area. Well, not always, but we might get to see them. I mean, crossing one another's territory into the area. We're getting to see youngster in this small farm. I mean, of two different leopards.
I think it's also because the last year almost now, there's been a lot less lion activity here. So apart from the physical danger of lions stealing carcasses and so on, the impact on the prey is much less. So there's much more food available. So for that leopard, if there's another one or two leopards around, it's not really going to influence their food.
Yeah, it's true.
Excuse me. Excuse me. And Rexa, we just spoke about the Kahumas now. There was actually a question, just to give a bit of background. A question from Pat asking the males being around and how that's going to influence possibly the cubs of the Kahuma pride. Are they going to be a danger for that and so on? But basically, you mentioned earlier you had a bit of news and cub numbers and stuff. Just a quick update. Don't worry,
which is really amazing. We're getting this information from the guys. They've just spotted now 5 youngsters.
Look, I think it's just
it's hyena, I believe.
Yeah, probably chewing on the tire.
Yeah, something like
stuff to the elephant rocking it.
Yeah. So what happened there? They located the lions, 4 female and 5 youngster which are sub-adults, and 1 youngster which is very, very small. So
it's the 5 female?
Sub-adult.
5, so okay.
Yeah. It could be someone.
So the ones that were Mapokos, in other words.
That's for Mapokos and so on. There's some cubs that we have seen here.
The ones that were little here.
Little here, and they move up into east. I mean, into Befesuk. So it looks like the cubs now are big enough. It's only that youngster, which it would be a fear for the pride to come down.